Later, Caroline. Uh-oh. You hear? She said she had quit. She had quit.
Really?
That was quick.
30 minutes. 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Is that what we're doing?
Yes,
All right.
no doubt.
I'm glad you brought that to my attention.
No doubt.
No, I remember.
Yeah, he said it. When he said it, I was in the back of the car. I said, all right, note to self. Promise you. You ain't gonna say that twice. I wasn't gonna ask him or anything.
Y'all going in tomorrow? To work? No, not work tomorrow.
I guess. Y'all off? At least you gotta drive to April. Probably. 234 6114.
Yeah.
I've got like my Tuesday plan now.
Dang, I wish I'd have known that. 'Cause I passed the last one they did. It was in November.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good Tuesday evening, everyone, and welcome into the Sports Blitz, Lake Martin Sports Roundup show, live on location at beautiful downtown Alexander City, as we are each and every Tuesday from 6 to 7. Adam Blankenship and Scott Hardy here with you for the next hour, talking all things local sports. Obviously, there's a lot of important things happening around on the local level. Been to Russell baseball team today starts their area play with and I apologize for that if that's a problem, but I'm going to let you maybe talk a little bit more on this one, Blake. Oh, we're good now. There we go. All right, we been to Russell and Opelika to have their first area game today at 4 o'clock, so we hopefully could have been able to give you guys an update on that, and then they'll turn back around on Thursday and play again. But also, I guess we can't talk about anything if we don't start the show off with our homegrown and hometown hero, Mr. Kendall Grayman, who was the opening day starter for the Oakland Athletics last night. Goes 6 innings and gets the W. 7 Ks for the board.
7 Ks. And, Scott, I had to say that there was some other game going on CBS. I think it was the national championship game maybe. But
I didn't watch it.
I couldn't watch any of it, man. I was glued to Kendall's start last night. And I didn't know that he was throwing 97.
I didn't know that either to that rate.
I did not know.
I mean, he's
throwing 97.
He's got a little James Paxton in him, and I hope you guys can appreciate that, you baseball lovers out there. But he was very mechanical, coming up through the minors, was low 90s, hit 94, 95 toward the end of last year, and then all of a sudden, boom! Within the offseason program, he goes from sitting at 93, 94, hit 95, and now it was consistent 97, 98.
98, man, and
with a 91 mile an hour cutter.
Yeah. And watching early on, it was thinking, okay, it's opening day. He's jacked up. He's probably got the nerves going a little bit, so he's going to be throwing a little bit harder. He's going to be overthrowing a little bit maybe. But it was 5th, 6th inning, and he was still throwing 97. I mean, and I noticed, too, whenever he was coming off the mound and in between innings was how much size he's put on. Like, he's always been a big guy. He's 6'2", but – he's really grown into that frame, it looks like now, and it tells and it shows how much work he's put in the offseason with developing his lower body and developing his strength and everything too. But because, pitching, it's all about the hips and the legs and the drive you get with that. And you can really tell that he's really focused on that and working on it. And to see him pitch the way he pitched last night, man, it gives me really, really high hopes on this season. Like, this could be his breakout year. I'm not trying to put a lot of pressure on him. I'm not trying to set him up and talk, more than what it could be. But from what he showed last night, we'll be able to throw 96, 97 completely. That allows you a lot of wiggle room. You know what I mean? Like, you can get away with some bad pitches here and there if you're throwing that hard just because of the gas, it's easy for a guy throwing 96, 97 to get away with bad pitches than somebody who's throwing 90, 91. But the thing is he really didn't throw many bad pitches last night. He threw one to Trout, which it wasn't a terrible pitch. It was a little up in the zone, but, it was on the outer part of the plate. But you just have one of the best hitters in the league reach around and knock over the fence. I don't see how he pulled it over the fence, to be honest with you. Put it down the left field line like that, being that far outside anyway. But, it's just one of those things that's going to happen. It's Major League Baseball. You know what I mean? Like, that lineup they had last night, that rolled out there was stacked.
And that's the thing. I mean, it's
like it was
the
stacked.
best player now and then the best player of our generation for the last 12 years in Pujols. I mean, so that's impressive.
I mean, that lineup was so strong, and to see him get out there and carry himself the way that he did, and it looks like he's comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure when he first got in the league, it was kind of one of those things like, okay, wow, I'm in the major leagues. I'm facing Mike Trout right now. But it looks like now, and I'm sure it is that way if you talk to him now, it's 3 or 4 years in the league that, he feels like, okay, I belong. You know what I mean? Like I deserve to be out here just as much as anybody else does. And you can tell the confidence and how he carried himself on the mound and the pitches that he was able to make. I mean, if you're going to throw 95, 96 like that, and like you said, have a cutter at 91, 92, and then throw the sinker like he does too, man. I really feel like he's going to have a really good year. I was just really impressed with him. It was so fun to follow that, being opening day, and seeing him get that start in front of that huge crowd. It was fun to see him get some run support for the first time ever too. I mean, he gave up a 2-run home run, and that was it. That was it. Like we said, that's the reigning MVP right there.
They are trash. We love Kendall Graveman, but that athletics lineup
they are horrible.
I mean, I don't know how any of their pitchers really expect to be successful. But again, for those who are unfamiliar, Kendall Graveman, an Alexander City native, leaves Alexander City in the Benton Russell Wildcat program, goes on to Mississippi State, was a standout pitcher there with Coach Butch Thompson as their pitching coach, who is now the 95 miles an hour yesterday.
Sinker.
The
sinker.
Now coach at Auburn, big portion of his career is credited to that. Then he gets drafted by the Blue Jays. He's there, pitches, makes it up to the roster, comes up and after a year, pitches in a season now. He went from low A to the majors in a season, got the call up in late September, early October, got the chance to play with them. The next season comes back with the A's, has a little trouble, comes back down, but solidified his roster spot toward the end of last year. Even though he got injured, you could tell that he was going to be in the rotation. And this year, due to some unforeseen circumstances with who was the starter, who would initially have been the opening day starter, Sonny Gray, has an injury. So Kendall Graveman, the reigning 2016 Oakland Athletics Player of the Year, gets that opportunity. And so you talk to some of your scouts and guys, and I was trying to read up on what people were saying about him. And then, it's just one of those stories where, he doesn't – it's all the things you say about somebody who you don't think's that good.
Yeah.
And it's like, he doesn't really offer a lot of this, but he can get good movement. Then all of a sudden it's like, he's hit 97. The commentator was like,
well, who was this guy right here?
Yeah.
Tim Kurkjian made – Lou texted me this morning. He said, did Tim Kurkjian say that he thought he was soft last year? And I was like, what? He was like, yeah. He said it looks like that he wasn't comfortable. He's maybe a little bit soft, but now he's grown into his role and everything else. It's just like, man.
Well, you go back to
people
Keith Law
go after
too,
people, man.
And this was in my darker Twitter days, but we.
Keith Law, the great Keith Law.
Yeah, right? he's the scout basically, or he handles a lot of baseball things for ESPN and handles their prospect list. And so when Kendall comes out, we were getting some information on him, and he basically just dogged him. And we came to his defense a little bit. So now when he does well, we try to let him
always
know.
let Keith know, right?
I'm blocked from him, so he can't see it. But anyway, that's another story. But again, we're live here at JR Sports Bar and Grill talking about Alex City's own Kendall Graveman and the performance he had last night, running that down. He goes 6 innings, 7 Ks, only gives up the 2 runs. And again, that is a home run to Mike Trout, who, again, is the best player in baseball. They were eating him alive. They basically say he's Mickey Mantle recreated. So if that's who hits the home run off of you, you're all right.
They did say this. They said at this point in his career, he has more home runs than Bonds, more hits than Mantle, and more steals than Ricky Henderson. It's pretty impressive.
I mean, doesn't it? I mean, I'm not a big fan of Trout.
If that's the guy you give up the home run to, then it's okay.
I'm not a big fan. I like Bryce Harper a little bit more, but I think Trout is just for somebody who really loves baseball. Those 2 kids coming up, and then obviously you throw in like the Chris Bryants and the Machados, those guys. But as a whole, Mike Trout does it all. Now he's going to have to run a little bit more. That's early on in his career. He was a big runner, so he's not doing that as much because he's picked up some weight. He's 240.
He's a big old dude. He's a big old dude.
He brings a lot to the table. But
overall, though, man, it's a really good youth movement for Major League Baseball with those 2. Like you said, Chris Bryant, Machado, and those guys. Like they really needed that, and it's really taken off. Like I'm excited about baseball season more than I've been in a long time this year. And seeing Kendall last night, dude, like I can't get over it. Opening day starter comes out. Pitches a dime, basically.
We had the luxury, too, of having one of our good friends, Kyle Graveman, out there watching it, he and his family. So we're getting kind of behind-the-scenes looks, and he got the chance to meet Ricky Henderson as they were naming the field after him last night, which you don't see in baseball.
Yep.
That is like – that lets you know what type of legend he was. But I know Swole and Coach Graveman had a tremendous time out there last night. So hats off to them. And congratulations to Kendall. only game one, but probably 25, 30 more starts hopefully for him. But opening day means a lot, so it doesn't matter what happens. He can always say, "I was opening day starter."
No doubt. I mean, that's a thing that a lot of people can't say. Even if you pitch in the major leagues, a lot of people can't say he's an opening day starter. That's huge. There's only 32 opening day starters.
So I mean,
Yeah,
and for the most part, a lot of these guys, I mean, for a straight like Kershaw's always going to get it. Bumgarner's always going to get it. Greinke's going to get it. I mean, the Hernandez, Chris Hart, like you got these top 10, 12 guys for the last 10 years. Verlander, like everybody's had these locked up. So it's not like you're getting a lot of opportunities to do so. So for him to do it, and I think that if things go this well, this could be a good little competition between Sonny and he going forward on who really is the team's ace. So obviously the bread will be in the pudding, but or the proof will be in the pudding. But I'm excited to see what happens with our board team.
You see a guy, you see him coming in as maybe when he first came in there a 5, maybe a number 4 starter, and now he's worked his way up as a surefire number 2 in the staff, and like you said, open day started this week. So I mean, it just shows the improvement and the work that he's put into it, man. It's exciting. It really is. It's just really exciting.
Well, we'll go ahead and take our first break of the evening. We hope you enjoyed that first segment as we again discussed Alex City's own Kendall Grayman making the open day start. As the A's do get the victory, he gets his first W of the year. So hats off to them. When we come back, we will talk a little bit about some things that have been happening on the Parks and Rec side. We do have opening day for both baseball and softball this weekend, so I'll give a rundown on some of the things happening there, as well as some things to prep you for a couple of interviews that we have and kind of recap of some things we got to do last week with Coach Rich and Brooks. More of the Late Morning Sports Roundup show right after this. Back into the Sports Blitz Late Morning Sports Roundup show. Adam Blankenship and Scott Hardy here with you for roughly about 15 more minutes. We've got a couple of interviews that we've got lined up, some pre-recorded things. We had the opportunity to catch up with Coach Danny Horn off his recent announcement of him being placed into the Alabama High School Athletic Association Hall of Fame, as well as last Thursday, when Coach Richard Brooks had the field named after him. So it is now and forever now will be Brooks Jordan Field.
Man, it was nice to see some emotion.
He got sad.
He did. It was so nice to see some
when
emotion.
When his dad got to throw out the opening pitch.
Yeah, that's what got him right there. I think that's what got it.
That was a good time.
I was glad I was able to be there for that. That was awesome. Served, great coach. We all love him. Everybody loves him. Tough love is what it was when he was coming through there, but.
Thing is, he was real mad though after because they got swept. So he wasn't that happy afterwards.
It ruined the whole day for it, you know.
But if anyone's out there that's listening, hopefully we can try to catch an update real quick before the end of our segments here. The first game for area play was today for the Wildcats. So if anybody's out there listening, hopefully we can try to get an opportunity or a score on that. But Blank, in the thick of things here, getting ready for baseball season, or at least playoff baseball on the high school side of things. During your time, so when really would you guys know like it was time to kick it up or not? Like after the tournament,
classic. When the classic got there, yeah. Whenever that tournament came around, you knew that the season's coming to an end, and you need to start playing your best ball. Fortunately, we won it my senior year, so we were feeling really good about it. You just knew that. Okay, after this tournament right here, everything counts. Like, we really got to, if you wasn't dialed in, you got to be out of your hitting slump. Your pitch needs to be going well because you got a tough area, and especially then because we had 3 first-round draft picks that we had to face in one team. And, the season just started to get real then. So right now is about the time where these guys have to really zero in and focus on it and get ready for that because it's a grind. And if you don't, perform, you get left out. I mean, it could be something as small as one play can change the whole season, which happened to us. We had an error from Chaz Russell at third base over there, and he threw it. He was just terrible, and it was terrible. It was terrible. I love Chaz to death, but it was terrible.
Oh,
I probably will never forgive him for it. I love him to death.
For the Bro Scotty game?
Oh no, it was Valley. It was Valley.
About to say because my favorite game ever, I think, watching in high school was the Bench Russell Russell County game.
Oh, we were fired up.
Kyle Welch comes out. I think it was 2-1 was the score.
Yeah,
maybe 2-1.
Lost 2-1.
Petey Gamble comes through a pass ball. He scores, and we take the lead 1-0.
Yep.
And then Kyle pitched probably one of the best games I've seen anybody. He didn't have to throw the ball to first. It was all good.
It was good. It was good.
We're rocking and rolling. But it's getting that time when it's pretty outside like this. This is what it always reminds me back to is just being at the baseball field. Like that's what my childhood, high school, everything revolves being back at the field. And so a day like this, although we do have a quick programming notes, please stay tuned to 97.5 tonight. They will have all your weather updates. So hopefully you guys have a secure place to go in case of the bad weather. But it looks like between 4 a.m. and 9 a.m. tomorrow, which sounds weird. That's a long time to have to guess. But hopefully you guys are safe. But this good time of year for sports. You got the Masters this week. Just finished with the championship opening day was today or
basketball
yesterday.
Is heating up.
It is. Playoff basketball is getting ready, and we're going to talk about that as the summer comes down. And again, for those who are followers of the Jordan meme, crying Jordan meme, we just saw probably the greatest one ever, Derrick Rose, point guard for the Knicks. Tore his meniscus, ACL. I think he tore his meniscus, and so he's done for the year. And they gave his knees the Jordan crying face. And that is the greatest thing. It's never going to die. Ever going to die. But anyway, going back to just high school baseball again, this is an opportunity for guys to start to get settled in. You've got a month pretty much left of baseball, regular season baseball. So, I mean, it gets serious.
It is. It's really serious, man. This is the time where you got to strap them up and win. If you don't, you'll be at home. And that's what happened to us, man. It's just – and it can – like I said, one play can change the whole thing. I mean, the whole year that you worked on, no matter how good you were, I think we had 25 wins that season, but still, it didn't mean anything. It's just that's just how high school baseball is too, and it's gotten better than what it was because talking with Randy and some of them, because I asked them going into Coach Brooks' dedication and everything, they had I'm trying to think what we had going on here, but they had three pitchers that were all left-handers. All of them had Michael Stallings, had Bill White, and they had Keith Long.
Keith Long.
Yes, that's the name I was looking for. Were their three stars? All left-handers, all just stellar athletes. I think all of them got drafted and everything else too. I said, how did you not win a championship that year?
Went 30-3.
How did you not win a state championship that year? And it was one game series up until after the third round. That's crazy. So, I mean, baseball season, high school baseball is just crazy like that. I mean, and we're fortunate enough in this state to have a lot of good high school baseball programs. It doesn't show with baseball at Alabama, but it does at Auburn now. I mean, I know they got some guys there that's from within the state, but
really, this portion of the state though, like East Alabama,
really
Montgomery
good
over,
yeah,
really a lot of good baseball. And even I'd say maybe from Dothan up, maybe Dothan to Montgomery County, Lee County. Like there's a lot of good baseball played in that portion of the state. But we'll go ahead and take another break, and when we return, we'll kind of preview again the interviews we have set up for today. Coach Danny Horn, as well as the ceremony that took place that LMG was able to capture for Coach Richie Brooks' naming of the field, Brooks Jordan Field, Field 1 at the Alexander City Sportplex. Excuse me, Charles E. Bailey Sportplex. I'll get in trouble for that. More of the Late Morning Sports Roundup show right after this.
One.
Welcome back into the final segment here of the Lake Morning Sports Roundup show. As Adam Blankenship and Scott Hardy carry you out for the next 6-7 more minutes as we get you prepped for Sports Blitz Live, but that will be preceded by a couple of interviews that we were able to catch up with last week. inducted into the Alabama High School Athletic Association Hall of Fame, 6 state championships, part of a 55-game win streak, won 3 straight state championships with Clay County, had only lost, I think, 40 games in 20 years at Clay County, and nobody's going to top that. I don't see a team being able to come in and be as dominant as they were then, because with so many private schools now, I think they segment that out a little bit more. But it was really enjoyable to catch up with him. Michael Foran has been doing an outstanding job with the production of these. He had an opportunity to catch the Coach Jeff Hines interview where he announces his retirement. Michael put together a very nice video for that one. It's a little lengthy, but, Facebook awards that. So the lengthier the piece, the better. So that was posted on our social media accounts. But I think everyone will be very pleased again with the interview with Coach Danny Horn. And then with you guys at LMG were able to catch up with Coach Brooks at his naming of the field. And, again, that is called Brooks Jordan Field now. And I can't think of anybody more deserving. And as I said in our interview, he did have to run a lot.
No, no doubt.
During that time, but it's reflecting back on it now, even during those worst times, were some of the best. And even Coach Owens, we got to see Coach Owens at the ceremony. He brought up my infamous packet of ketchup incident.
I didn't even realize it was you that did that.
That was me.
Great it was.
Yes, they
Councilman.
There was for a quick rundown of this story now, because it does correlate a little bit what we're about to transition into. But we were coming back from a baseball game my freshman year. From Wetumpka, I threw. Everybody had been throwing stuff out of the window. Everybody, and so I'm the one that just jumped in and said I'm gonna do it too. And I threw a packet of ketchup out of the window, and it hit a
car.
truck. Hit a truck. He and his wife. He was a youth minister in Wetumpka. Pulls around. We're in Santuck. He pulls around and follows us the entire way back. So Rob McClellan, who is on our team, he calls his dad. So Coach Owens is trying to figure out what's happening, and nobody's kind of said anything at this point. But this guy is mad. He tried to get on the side of the bus. Coach Owens is like, nah.
Coach Owens is thinking this guy is trying to do something. Yeah. He has no idea.
Nobody knows.
And to hear him tell that story was hilarious.
God, I'd actually forgotten about it. And when he brought that up at the game, but this is prom, too, for Alex, for Benjamin Russell. So that's another portion of this that has to happen. But anyway, long story short, we get Joe McClellan and his state trooper group involved, and they have a police barricade set up right when we approach right off of 22 as we get where the currently at that point it was Western Sizzler, but now with Big B. But that's how long it was. Ooh, that's 15 years ago. And so anyway, we go back to the high school. The guy follows us back. Coach Owens says, "Who did it?" So now everybody's like, "All right." So I took the blame, which I did do it, but
I took the blame.
And it was prom. So the police, everybody's at prom while people are taking pictures, and it's me and this guy and Coach Owens. And I proceeded to get in a little trouble for that, but it wasn't too bad. I just had to clean up. This was the week after. So the next week I think was going to be Lakemore Classic, or there'd been a bunch of games that week. So I had to clean up every day after baseball practice and the games, the field by myself. So that was a pretty interesting story. But having said that, opening day this weekend, opening day for the Alexander City Parks and Recreation Baseball and Softball League will be this Saturday. If I'm not mistaken, it starts at 7:30 or 8. So I'm pretty positive it's 7:30, but there are a lot of teams that have to take place. So I know Sonny Wilson and his staff are very excited for this. They have some great things in store, and I tried to keep it a little secret yesterday at the council meeting when we relayed it, but he let it be known, so we can say it here. Mayor Jim Neighbors will be the person to throw out the opening pitch, so I'm really excited for people to get to see him. I know he hasn't. Some people may not be familiar with him yet from a facial recognition standpoint, but I think this Saturday would be a good opportunity to come out and support what is, in my opinion, one of the premier events in Alex City that's held at the Sportplex, which is opening day.
Yeah, definitely. And you think about how much impact, how many kids in our area is involved with baseball and softball and everything. So it's going to be great, man. And Sonny and them do a great job with everything. They really take it over the top, and it's something that everybody can be proud of. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you get out there early. Tons of ball going on all day. So it's going to be a great thing. And like I said, hats off to Sonny and his crew for everything that they do for the city as well. But last thing before I pass it on to this is you were talking about Danny Horn, about his interview and everything coming up that we're going to play. But to have him and Coach Brooks, you have Danny Horn and the 600 game winner in baseball is an absolute blessing for this community. So you guys need to take advantage of that.
Coach Rob, who was the
Yes,
athletic director of the year the first year that they came out.
exactly,
So,
exactly, and one of the best softball coaches around. So I mean, you got to, you really got to appreciate the work that that our school system is doing and providing with all these coaches and the quality character that they have too. So.
That was nice there, man.
Yeah, man.
Good close out there. But, again, we appreciate you guys tuning in to us this week, and we'll go ahead and take our final break of the evening. And when we return, we'll have an interview with Coach Danny Horn as well as Coach Richard Brooks' ceremony from last week. Adam Blankenship and Scott Hardy signing off.